The 21st year of education exchange welcomes West High School with Mr. Colby Miller on my right hand side, the assistant principal of the school, and a bouquet of achievers and leaders in the school. When we communicated, you selected this group of people because they are prominent in their fields. And one of the difficulties that we face sometimes with a great school like yours is that where to focus and what to select and who to select. And sometimes it's so difficult, we can never be fair at all. But we hope for other shows that will cover other parts. I mean, this is not only the activities of the school that we know of. This is one of the most important schools in the nation, and your achievements have been known to this community and the community all over the United States for many, many years. So this is part of the challenge that Mr. Colby and I faced when we decided to focus on certain areas. So Akash is with us today, and next to him is Claire. And with Claire is Amy on her right hand side, Amy, and followed by Zane. And Mr. Colby, before we start talking about your warriors there, those achievers, this is, I think, one of the first times you come to our shows, and I would like you to give our audience an idea about your background and your leadership of the school.
Sure.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate you having me on. And I was been at West High here this is my second year, and I've been in education for 14 years. And prior to being at West High School as an assistant principal, I worked in a few different capacities in Cedar Rapids at Roosevelt Middle School. And I started off as an English teacher for 10 years. And from there, I was also an athletic director for 6 years, and I was a coach for 12 years, and I also was it was called a facilitator, but it's kind of like a dean of students for 2 years. So had a lot of different roles at Roosevelt Middle School.
You did it all, huh?
I tried to do as many things as possible, and fortunately, Dr. Argenbright gave me the opportunity at West High School to 2 years ago, and I gladly accepted.
A great leader.
I don't know about great. I try to do good things. I know that.
I can tell because I have a lot of people that I know, they attend school and we talk about your leadership there. And I think that you mentioned Dr. Argenbright. He's a remarkable leader himself. And we are, of course, wishing him the best in the new career. I'm sure that he's not going to quit any of his activities. He's a young man, and he has been a remarkable guiding light in our education system here. I guess you're going to miss him too, right?
No, absolutely. He's in the year and a half that I've been here at West, I've learned a great deal from him. He brings just a wealth of knowledge. The thing that I think is most important about Dr. Argenbright, and I think the kids here could attest to that, is he's got such a welcoming demeanor. Every kid in the building, I think they would agree with this, they feel important based on the way he treats kids and people. And I think that's something that's always stood out to me, is the way he interacts and treats people, not just the kids, but our staff, community, anybody that comes into our doors.
Yeah, I always remember that he had rejected any attempt to move him away from the school, even promotion. Even he's going to be paid more, but he loved being a leader of the school. So this was home for him, and he loved it, and he wanted to conclude his career in education as principal of the school, which is something we have to give him big credit for.
Yeah, I think the one thing that he never wanted to lose sight of is that that day-to-day interaction with kids. That was very important to him, and still is very important to him.
Mr. Miller, now it's your time to start a conversation with this wonderful selection.
Sure, I think it might be helpful just to have you guys, introduce yourself and talk a little bit about, or you might just explain what activities you're currently in at West High School.
Sure, I can start. I'm Akash Borde. I'm a senior, and I'm involved in Student Senate. I'm the Student Senate president, and I run track and cross country. And I'm also on the West Side Story on the editorial board. So it's our school newspaper.
Is that enough for you? You have a lot on your plate, huh?
It's a manageable amount.
I'm Claire Lannigan. I'm involved in the EATS Club at West, which stands for Environmental Advocates Teaching Sustainability. We are just the environmental club, and we do a lot of different events and have initiatives at West High to try and make West greener. I'm also in a Starving Hunger Club, and we work on the issue of hunger locally and globally, and I've done soccer.
Hi, I'm Emmy Skopek. I'm also involved in Student Senate, and I run cross country and track.
And you are a great achiever in this field, right? Pretty famous, huh? Zane?
My name is Zane Larson, and I am also a senior. I am involved in Student Senate, theater, like the musical right now, show choir, almost any extracurricular choir you can name, like chorale and a cappella choir I'm in. So.
Wonderful. So now with Akash, I understand that this group of people are all seniors and they are going to be leaving us to college or to career, whatever. Did you make sure that you are going to be succeeded by other people who would jump in to the leadership? I mean, how do you usually, in your position, you are the president, right?
Student Senate president.
That's a very important position. Now, did you reach out for the new generation to follow your footsteps, talk to them, give them some training? What do you do in order to make sure that you are leaving there somebody that can be a good representative of the students?
Well, I think with West High, you have almost 2,000 kids, and so there's going to be a lot of people that, are highly capable, and so it's, something you don't even have to worry about, like after you graduate, will Student Senate keep functioning? And I think it definitely will. There's a lot of young faces that, want to keep being involved in Senate.
Is there a kind of competition between people to get to this leadership rank or position?
Yeah, for some positions we do have elections and the whole school votes, excluding seniors. So there's, some competition that way. But, there's some, if you want to be involved, you don't have to be elected, you can just step up and there's a role for you. And, I think with West High, there's a lot of kids and all very, very talented at what they do. So you don't have to worry about that at all.
Claire, with all these activities that you're doing, and caring about the environment and the plants and life in general, I want to ask you about the challenge of achieving in the academics. Do you consider yourself an achiever?
Well, at West, it's very easy to take advantage of the opportunities we have. If you're interested in academics specifically, which I think I've taken advantage of at West, you can definitely get into those and then see the club as an outlet to relax. We do cooking days as some of our events with the spring. We did Primavera pasta, actually this last weekend. We do a fall cooking day with squash, apples, and then in the winter we did a movie night because we grew popcorn. So it's also, we have very relaxed activities that it's really fun to just get to hang out with the group. But a lot of members of our group are very passionate about environmental issues. So it's another way that it is more of a time commitment and can conflict with academics. But it's a priority that we have to work on these issues with West High.
Excellent. The same question to you, because you are definitely a winner in your athletic activity. And I want to know something about how this is affecting your performance in other matters.
I guess I would say that it's actually helped me in school to be involved in the cross-country and track teams, because it really kind of teaches you the discipline, because like to be a good runner, I don't have to just go to practice, but I have to like watch what I'm eating and get good sleep, so it really teaches you time management, so I'm really able to balance my time well. And then like I like to push myself like athletically, and then I have the same kind of like competition with myself, I guess, in school to like get good grades.
So, Emmy, you believe that a healthy body and a healthy mind go together, right?
Yes, I do.
You agree about that, and definitely there's a very strong scientific basis for that. Zane, I watched you a lot, I heard your voice a lot, still ringing in my ears, and you're pretty famous in this area. How do you organize yourself between your personal life, studying, homework? I know that West High has a lot of homework, right?
Yes, it does, but I think it's worth it in the end. It
I have
definitely.
a kid there, so I know.
Mhm.
She comes with this heavy, and sometimes she said, "Dad, carry my backpack." And I said, "Oh, what are you carrying?" She said, "My homework." So how do you orchestrate all this? I'm trying to use some musical terminology here.
It's kind of like Emmy. I feel like being involved like in a bunch of music and theater things has taught me like a lot of time management, because there's some nights like where like a theater, like during tech week, where you're at the school until 9 o'clock at night, and you're like rehearsing, and so you're like, no, like I need to study for this class, and I need to use my time effectively in order to be successful in my classes. And also like teachers are pretty understanding at West. Like sometimes like during tech week, like such a thing like 9 o'clock at night, some teachers are really understanding, like this kid's not going to be able to have time to do this 4-hour project that I assigned. So sometimes teachers are kind of lenient, which is nice, but I definitely think it teaches a lot of really good work ethic, because you learn how to manage your time and how to use it effectively.
I go back to you, Amy. If you are going now to talk to our audience, especially the young audience who are going to turn YouTube to watch you in this program, how do you advise them to do what in order to be accomplishing in the academic area as well as the extracurricular activities?
I guess my advice would be to start when you're a freshman, try out a bunch of things, and then figure out what you like. And so I chose cross country because I just liked it, and once you choose something, you really have to kind of commit yourself to it and show up every day and try your hardest, and then I guess that teaches you to work hard, and then take school just as seriously as your sports and kind of apply yourself 100% to everything you do.
I think this coincides, of course, with the fact that you have to know something about nourishment and nutrition and what kind of food you eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when do you go to bed to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Do you have enough sleep, for instance?
Most nights, I would say.
Most
So
nights.
I try to get about 8-9 hours of sleep a night, which is hard to do.
What do you think, Claire? You are the scientific, nutritional, environmental
We do have a
guru
garden,
here.
but
Huh?
we do have a garden, so I guess we try and make healthy things in our cooking days, but we're more about what tastes good, so to get people to come.
So you consult with science teachers, or?
Yeah, we do work with science teachers on a couple of our events, and we also hold events that we're trying to get the whole school to come to. So we'll talk to the science teachers about when their classes could come, And to get the whole school to think about these issues, we'll have speakers come. We do Focus the Classroom every year. So that's a way that our club can get our message out to people who can't come to our club every Friday and are also interested in learning about it.
Back to you, Mr. President. Can you tell me where are you going from here? I mean, you are already a president, right? What are you looking for after that?
You mean after high school?
Yeah.
I don't really know yet. I think I'm going to study engineering, but...
You
know,
mean
that's
you don't have a
year.
plan yet?
I
What
think
are
I
you
have-
waiting for?
I think I have too many plans, like too many things that I want
Let
to
us
do.
hear some of them.
Study engineering or study psychology
In
or
Iowa?
something in the middle.
In Iowa?
Perhaps. I still don't know where I'm going yet.
That's you are a very politically savvy guy, you know. A lot of people say, not in Iowa, I had enough Iowa, I'm
No.
going out.
I don't want to
Huh?
rule anything out.
But we want to keep our good people here by all means, you know. Our state needs all these abilities and all these capacities here.
Mhm.
Okay. I think our director is giving me some signs about time. So I want you to tell me what else is going on in West High.
Well, I don't know if we have enough time to talk about.
As
All of the
simple, yeah, no,
activities
there's
that are-
no way of doing that.
Yeah, just as far as getting involved in activities, somebody, I think on the panel here alluded to it. Every year in September, we have a club fair where all the clubs come to our cafeteria, try to recruit kids, and there are just, we have a booklet full of clubs and organizations students can get involved in. We have all of our athletics, we have all of our fine arts, from the drama to the theater, and I'm sure I'm missing a few, in between, but there's an opportunity for every kid in our building. It's a matter of trying to figure out, what's the right fit for you. Emmy had said to start, you try as many things as possible, and we try to get our freshmen particularly to get involved in as many things. And you don't have to be great at it, you don't have to be the best at it, because you might not know how good you are at some of these things. So get involved, try as many things as possible, and most kids at West, I would say, find their niche and find something they're really good at and something they really enjoy.
And you have, I have, before we leave, I have really to give credit to the band group and the meds there, the teachers, and all these efforts they do. I mean, their outreach to the community is just marvelous, and they put a lot of effort in their work, as well as, of course, Mr. Christian and the group and Miss Saylor in the fine arts. They have done a great work too. So yeah, you are right. I mean, what can we cover? But then there's another challenging question for you. Akash just said now that you have about 2,000 students.
Just over 2,000.
How on the earth you can organize us? I mean, I work as a teacher and the lead teacher. About my school was like maximally 100 people, and we felt that it's like big effort.
Yeah.
So how do you manage to let's say organize 2,000?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there's a lot of different things that come into play as far as organizing these events. We have an athletic director, we have a band director, fine arts director. So we have all of the adults, but coupled with that, we have a lot of people that volunteer their time and get involved. And we're fortunate enough at West, we have so many teachers and faculty and staff that are involved in these activities and help the organization of them. Not to mention we have parents that are involved, that are up
Okay.
at the school constantly, whether it be, helping, get something organized or help cook a team dinner or,
They are extremely supportive. I see the
Transporting
work,
kids.
the band, and with the show choir and all that.
So, I think we have such a great community that helps support all of the events and people that are willing to work together. And, I don't know exactly how it all unfolds the way it does, but it's pretty successful.
I just want to give you another credit for the fact that you and City High are having such a wonderful kind of relationship. It was not that competition between the river, which one is west of the river, which one is east of the river, and the old feud that was there. Now it is kind of cooperation and respect, mutual help and support, and this is spirit we would like to emphasize in our community. But before I leave, I want to ask you, talk a little bit, Akash, about diversity in your school in kind of 2 minutes or 1 minute. Tell me about diversity, because West High is a very successful school when it comes to diversity.
Are you talking like racial diversity?
Yes,
or-
racial, gender, whatever, you name it.
Mhm.
And you have more respect for people who are different, more respect for people who are gay people, more respect for people who are not so much involved in athletic or anything, but everybody knows that they are respected in your school. And I just want you to focus on the leadership in the Senate. Do you have a lot of diverse people trying to get to the leadership position?
Well, again, with like 2,000 students, there's going to be a lot of diversity. And
He is so
For-
political, this guy.
and in student senate in
You
particular,
have to be in
we
a
don't-
government, you have to be somewhere there, so that spokesman for the Secretary of State or something like that. You're gonna be good.
I don't know about politics. Anyway, like I was saying, like with Senate, we don't do that much. But with the diversity stuff, like we have lots of groups for specific,
Okay.
types of diversity. We have a colors club. We have, which is our Gay Straight Alliance. We have Psych, which does
Okay.
a lot with like minority students. And so like there's a support group for nearly every type of.
Okay,
person.
let's see now, Claire, what's your aspiration for the future?
Like Akash, I'm maybe thinking about being an engineer or a physicist.
A physicist.
Yes.
Great. Amy.
Next year I'm actually going to the University of Kansas, so I'm going to be a track athlete there, and I'm hoping
Are
to...
you planned it already? So you know
Yeah.
exactly, you can sleep well, huh? You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about it.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to like study biology and maybe be a doctor someday.
Okay, that's great. Zane?
I'm going to attend Luther College in the fall and major in vocal music education.
So you are going to be with us in Iowa.
I'm thinking about it,
So
yes.
we will not miss your voice. Whenever we have a big occasion, we just call and say, Mr. Larson, can you come?
I mean, I suppose so, yes.
And then you would be signing our autographs at the time, right?
Oh gosh, I don't think I'd do that. Seems a bit extreme.
Do you have a role model in your life, that somebody you look up to and want to be like?
Yeah, I mean, specifically one of my directors. I mean, both my directors I really look up to, David Haas and Ryan Pearson. But I've been with Mr. Pearson for like all 4 years of my high school because he's taught the bass choir I was in for 2 years and the West Singers Ensemble, which is like a mixed ensemble of like the top ensemble at West High School. And so I've been with him 4 years, and he's like really like helped me grow as like a person, and I like really appreciate all the time he's given into like my growth as a person, and also just the time he's given to like help me improve not only as a singer but improve everything about my life. He's one of the coolest people I've ever met.
It's wonderful that you give credit to your mentor and directors, and that's. Now we have a couple of minutes for you, Colby, to talk to our audience and viewers, to tell them final words about West High and how it's going to be the next year. There is, in the community, there is a little worry about the fact that Dr. Argabright is leaving,
Mhm.
and he's going to leave a vacuum, a big gap but you are doing already a wonderful job there. I want you to assure our audience that West High is going to remain as West High in the absence of this guiding light from there.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out, I don't think anybody will ever come in and fully replace what Dr. Argenbright has done, but we certainly will find someone that's going to come in and do great things for West High. The important thing to note is, you know, not to take any credit away from Dr. Argenbright, but we have a great staff, and the staff there will continue to, I think, do the things that he's preached and wanted them to do, which is, you know, do whatever's best for kids. And I think that that's always going to be ingrained in our staff and in our community. We have strong parent community support that I think will help keep West High, you know, the place that it is right now.
And,
which is a great
and
place.
Claire told us that she's going to make sure that it's going to be greener. You're already green, right? I see
Well, we are
Ty
green,
and
yes.
Cash has one, and Larson has one. So you are going to make it greener?
Yeah.
You sure?
We've got lots of plans.
Well, as a matter of fact, it has been quite a delight having you tonight. And I cannot tell you on behalf of John Karhoff and Mike Peterson and the family of Public Access TV, as well as Dr. Ramey in the Department of Education here, the administration, and Dr. Merley, on behalf of all these people, we appreciate your efforts and would like to wish you all the success, prosperity, and joy and bliss. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having us.
Mr. Miller, very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.